stop me if you've heard this one before, but crazy guy goes crazy because he's crazy. Yeah, that actually pretty much sums it up really well. But in reality, what happened in Japan recently with Square Enix in their headquarters and this dude emailing them saying he's gonna kill them all? It's pretty nuts, and if you pull back the wool on what's going on with this entire situation, it's pretty concerning for everybody. First off, yes, this is a one-off situation where it's a crazy person and not everybody is going to react like this. But a dude in Japan who worked at a nursing home, he was 25 years old and spent almost $2,000 on microtransactions. The type of game he was playing was a gacha game, which many in the United States and the rest of the world may not be too familiar with, but in Japan, gacha games are hugely popular. Gacha games are video games that adapt and virtualize the gacha capsule toy vending machine mechanic. So it's a very randomized type game that plays on addiction. It completely takes advantage of those of us that don't have that thing in our brain that says, hey, maybe we should ease up a little bit on the gas pedal with this game and spending money and putting our credit card in. Maybe it's not the best use of our funds. Gacha games take full advantage of people that have no idea how to stop. The gacha game model began to be widely used in the early 2010s, especially in Japan, because almost all of the highest grossing mobile games in Japan utilize it. It's become an integral part of Japanese mobile game culture. It's one of those mechanics in games that companies love because they know it will make a lot of money at the expense of people that don't know any better. And with this game that Square Enix has over in Japan, this dude spent a lot of money on it. He never got the item he wanted, and he was pretty pissed off about it. So much so that he threatened to kill the entire staff at Square Enix. He has since been arrested and said that he had no intention of actually doing it, he just wanted to scare them, and it was just one of those he was really frustrated situations. So while that in no way excuses his actions, because no, it's never okay to send death threats to anybody for any reason, this kind of exposes a greater issue with microtransactions in the first place. Yeah, the guy is crazy, but he spent so much money that he got to the point of threatening the entire staff of Square Enix in Japan because he was so mad that he spent so much money and didn't get what he wanted out of it. According to Live Door News, the man is accused of sending an email on February 5th to Square Enix Tokyo office that read, "Hey staff, tomorrow I'm going to kill you. Get ready for your punishment." The dude spent over 200,000 yen, which is the US dollar equivalent of about $1,800, that he spent on microtransactions, hoping to get an item that he never obtained. Now, this isn't the first time Square Enix has gotten death threats via emails because of their games. Last September, they got about 30 emails with the word kill in the subject line, and they're right now investigating to see if they're related to this dude that was caught with the most recent threat. But to be honest, this entire situation makes me really concerned for the future of video games with microtransactions and how crazy the world is getting. And yes, I know this was, like I said, a one-off situation, not something that's ever typical from the average human being, but if there are games that cause people to spend that kind of money and they're unable to control themselves, it sounds like they have a few mental issues, a few screws loose, and it doesn't necessarily surprise me to hear that they're crazy enough to push it to sending a death threat. Thankfully, in this case, he was captured and arrested because of it, but it makes me wonder how many more people are out there getting screwed by being addicted to microtransactions, to these games with flashy lights and loot boxes that open up and make you feel all special and warm and cuddly inside, and if you just have one more chance to get it, you'll just spend one more time, and if you don't get it that time, maybe next time. It feels like it will eventually come, and it just sometimes never does. And at the point that you finally realize that you've spent all your money on this game, fruitlessly not obtaining what you've been searching for the entire time, I could imagine it would leave a few people more than peeved. Enough to send death threats? No, but it doesn't necessarily mean Square Enix is completely innocent here either. Let's be honest. They are taking full advantage of people that are not able to control themselves, and this in itself is a bad look for everybody. Like I said, I'm not condoning this letter, but it does definitely point a finger at Square Enix to say, hey guys, at what point are we taking too much advantage of the gamer? Maybe we should scale back those loot boxes and microtransactions. Maybe we shouldn't steal money from gamers that can't stop themselves from spending it hoping to get these items that sometimes never show up. It's just not a good look whatsoever. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.